Hi, my name is Rebecca Burridge and I am doing my part B for the video for the infection control. Today I am going to be showing you how we would perform a fractional RF, also using the routine hand wash and also the sterilisation of our equipment. So first I'm going to go in and do a routine hand wash. I'm going to discard and throw in the bin the paper towels and then dry my other arm. I will then pop on some gloves so I can go ahead and start the treatment. Now, before we go ahead and start the treatment, I'm going to need to sterilise the area. So I will use ViraClean, which is a medical grade steriliser. So wipe down the area with paper towels, just making sure to not re-go over any of the areas. So now that area is sterilised, I'll throw the paper towel in the bin and we can go ahead from there. Now I'm going to go ahead and get out what we need for today's treatment, which will be our numbing cream, so our anaesthetic, chlorhexidine, our needle that we'll be using today, which is disposable, so this gets thrown away, and also our disposable pack. So we will open the pack and slide the contents out. We then open the pack carefully. It is sterilised. And pull out the contents. Discard. I'll then use my next to get these out, and also the cotton round. Then I will put some sterilised gloves on. So I get my sterilised gloves and put them on top of my normal gloves. To make sure everything is fully sterilised, I will then put chlorhexidine onto the hands and wash them onto the gloves. I will then pour chlorhexidine into my container, where I will then soak in the cotton rounds, and then I would go over to the client and wipe over the area that I would be treating. Once I have wiped over the area that's fully sterilised, I can then throw the contents away. This is measured out into a per mil, so once one pump would be a mil, that's to go over the area, just to really rub in to get the blood flow going, and then we would check to make sure there'd be no reactions, and then we would go ahead and put a thinner layer on that we would leave for 20 minutes. But we would closely keep our eye on this to make sure that the client wasn't to react or anything like that. Once the area is numb, we can then go ahead and start the treatment. So this is our needle. So what we would do is we would tear the packaging open, we would take the needle out, closely put it onto our machine, and our machine is just over here. we would pop the dermal stamp onto the machine. We would then take the cap off gently to make sure that we don't touch the needles at all, and then we could go ahead and start the treatment with the correct settings. Once the treatment is finished, I would then put the lid very carefully back over the needles and then use my clamps just to help remove the needles so we don't cause any needle stick injury. Then, once this has been removed, I would then go down and throw it into the disposables. As we haven't used this today though, I can now put this back into the cupboard. All this area here, I would then take off the sterilised gloves, make sure everything is wrapped up, and take this contents and throw it into the bin, as everything is disposable. I would then put another set of gloves on over the ones that I've already got, as we need to sterilise the area, so these gloves are sterilised. But just for extra sterilisation, I would put the chlorhexidine onto my hand to make sure it's fully sanitised. I would then remove the numbing cream and the chlorhexidine and put those back into the bin or dispose of correctly if we had used them, and then I would go ahead and spray over. And make sure again you only go over the area once and it's fully sterilised and into the bin. I would then speak to the client, tell her that the treatment is finished. I would go through the before, the afters, what to put on her skin, obviously to keep out the sun, things like that. We would then go to the counter. After, of course, I have taken off the gloves, done a routine hand wash again, take it to the counter and send her on her way. So I will then take off my gloves now as we have finished the treatment. Put both in the bin, and then of course every time we have removed our gloves we need to go ahead and wash our hands again. So I will do another routine hand wash. Once I have re-washed my hands, everything has been completely sterilised, my hands have been washed, so then everything would be in working order to go ahead and to do another treatment. Now today of course we have used disposables, so we threw everything away, but if we was to use reusable stainless steel equipment, what we would want to do is take them out the back to the steriliser. We'd want to wipe them over, disassemble them, wipe them out and rinse them off for any excess, and we would use warm soapy detergent to do that. They would then be placed into an ultrasonic machine for 20 minutes and then dried on a cooling rack. They would then be packaged correctly and inspected to making sure they have been packaged correctly. They would then be placed onto an autoclave on a rack, ensuring they are not touching or overlapping. They would then be put on a cycle and monitored closely. There would then be a logbook to write down all the sterilisation and make sure everything's run correctly. The tools would then be removed and put on a cooling rack. Then we would need to inspect the packaging, making sure they're not leaking or wet. If they are, that means that they have not been sterilised correctly and they need to be redone. Once the cycle's gone through again and the tools are dry and cool, they are then to go ahead and be safe to use. Thank you very much. My name is Rebecca Burridge, and that is my sterilisation for fractional RF and what to do if we was to use equipment for a autoclave. Thank you so much.